And then you look at the Cup Series, and this is, we got 4 races to go, 2 road courses and Daytona, plus Michigan this week. So, I mean, there's a lot of uncertainty there, and there's some guys, you talk about when you got 2 road courses there, you got to feel like Michael McDowell's got his strength. AJ Allmendinger's got his strength. We've seen, of course, Chris Buescher's got a win now. He's strong. Chase Elliott has not won on a road course in this car. And now he's within 40 points with 4 races to go. Is it doable? Yeah, Heather, I think it is doable, but the problem is, how many guys do you have to climb over to get into the top 16 for Chase Elliott? And you've got to count on all of them having enough problems for Chase Elliott to be able to make that move.
Yeah, for sure. And just looking at that standings right there with all the drivers that he's going to have to pass. I mean, Ty Gibbs is even good on road courses as well. So you've got Watkins Glen and Indy road course that Chase could potentially have one of those 2 guys win, or Michael McDowell, some of those road course ringers, if you will, even Daniel Suarez. They're going to be tough competition. It's going to, I don't know. It's very interesting to think that Chase is as far out as he is, but yet as close as he is after missing some racing. But I don't know. Does the most popular driver in NASCAR not make the playoffs this year? That's a wild thing to think. And then there was a joke going around with some friends of mine. We said, well, will they bring back the Jeff Gordon rule if he doesn't actually make it and give us another spot for him? But they won't do that again. But I think he definitely can do it. We know that he's got the team to do it. We know he's a good driver and can definitely make it happen. But I think everything's going to have to play to his favor. He's going to have to get that win before somebody else does. And I don't know. It's going to be fun to watch, I think.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, he's certainly got a chance to win these races, Josh. But, we had this discussion week in and week out. Have they been running well enough to win a race? Yeah, they haven't been getting. Now, I know they got some stage points this past week at Richmond, but they haven't been getting stage points. They haven't been, they haven't won stages. They haven't been getting stage points. There've been more moving up as the race goes on, but they're not running really well the first 2 stages, so they're losing out on a bunch of points early in the race.
Yeah, and that's the problem, because we all keep saying, yeah, Chase Elliott can win any of these races, and when you look at what he's been able to do, especially like his last 4, his best finish was 10th at Pocono, and he's not contending necessarily for the wins. Yes, he's getting stage points, and yes, he's running well. He'll be running in the top 10, and then he'll drop off. And at the end of the races, you never see the 9 car battling up front, So that's not the Chase Elliott we know, have come to know from the last couple of years. The Chase Elliott that's a champion in the sport. So there's, yes, an outside shot. If a lot of things go his way, he can point him his way in. But we all look towards, the road courses and being like, hey, this is Chase's shot to get a win. But like you mentioned, he hasn't won on a road course in the next-gen car. So in order to feel good about him getting in, I'd have to see him finishing runner-up, contending for a win in the end. And we just haven't seen that from him this season. At the same time, like Heather said, it's hard to think that he won't be in the postseason. It's just a matter of where does he step up? Where does he step up and get that win that we're expected? Since he came back, we've been saying, like, oh, yeah, Chase Elliott's going to get a win eventually. Well, there's 4 races left. Like, is he? Is it going to happen?
Well, and now you got 4 guys who are in the playoffs right now who don't have wins. Kevin Harvick, who seems to be pretty safe. And, me keeping in mind, Heather, we got 4 races to go. So 4 people without wins. So we know for a fact if you have a win, you are getting into the playoffs. But Harvick seems pretty safe. I mean, he's 4th overall in the points, and he's 182 ahead of the cutoff line. Keselowski's at 151 ahead of the cutoff line. He seems pretty safe as long as you don't have 3 other guys win, and he doesn't. Then you've got Bubba Wallace. He's 54 ahead of the cutoff line. And then Michael McDowell, he's 18 above the cutoff line. But that's where it starts to get pretty interesting. Because you look at McDowell, he's 18 above the cutoff line. Then Ty Gibbs is 18 below it. Allmendinger's 22 below it. Suarez is 34 below it. Then Chase Elliott and Alex Bowman, 40 and 42 below it. So, doing some quick math. So basically, you got 42 points separating Michael McDowell and Alex Bowman. Yeah, that's pretty tight.
Yes, it is. I'm excited. I guess I didn't really realize I was just looking at the points myself for the first time since after Richmond. And now that you put it and did that math for us there, Brett, it's going to be fun to watch. I love when it gets down to this time of year. And with Daytona being that cutoff race, I cannot wait because really that's like that wild card that anybody below the cutoff line could win in Daytona because anybody can win there. We've seen it before. So yeah, I think, man, I don't know. I don't even know. I'm not really good at this. I'm not really good at predicting what's going to happen because in my head, I run through all these scenarios. I'm like, oh, man, he might be out. Oh, but he could get in. Oh, but this guy could. So, and we really don't know until it actually happens. But either way, I'm just looking forward to seeing how it goes down.
Well, that's the thing. We keep looking at okay, Michael McDowell's at the cutoff line right now. But the simple fact is, if, let's say, for instance, Austin Cindric happens to win this week at Michigan.
Right.
Now, all of a sudden, the cutoff line moves to above him to Bubba.
Bubba. Yep.
And yeah. Then okay, let's go to Indy, and AJ Allmendinger wins at Indy again. Now all of a sudden the cutoff line moves to Keselowski. I mean, that's where it becomes real interesting.
Yeah, none of them could feel safe, especially those bottom four. I mean, I think Harvick's all right, but if you're Brad, you're Bubba, you're McDowell. I mean, you look at Daytona last year, Austin Dillon wins, you go there, Cindric finished runner up. Either one of those guys could win at Daytona, like you mentioned, and then the cutoff moves up. Allmendinger, obviously 2 road courses for him ahead. Gibbs has been really solid as of late. Suarez won on a road course last year. I mean, you can just go down the list and name guys and you don't feel good if you're any. And also you look at, Bubba Wallace was above the cut line, it felt like a month ago. Then he had a bad stretch and he fell below it. And then he's had some good runs as of late. A really good points day for him this past weekend has him with a little bit of a cushion, but even at plus 54, you don't feel good. Brad's been really good as of late, like I mentioned before, top 10, 3 of the last 4, but he can't feel good if you get, 3 new winners. So it's really interesting. It's what you want at the end of the year, though. It creates for some excitement, and you're looking to see what happens in those final couple races. And what could happen is we can get 4 guys that already won and all the drama's taken out of it. But we could also have pretty much anything happen, and all these guys are looking like, man, what happened? I was in, and now I'm out.
All right, quickly, Heather, how many guys make it on points?
Oh, gosh. I'm going to go Harvick makes it in on points. And that's it.
Just the one.
Yeah, just the one. Just the one, because I think we're going to have some winners. I really do. I think we're going to get somebody that hasn't won yet this season. I think Allmendinger is going to be strong. I have a feeling about that one.
All right.
Maybe even McDowell. Or I don't know. Maybe a LaJoie will come in at Daytona and completely blow us off our feet, or Noah Gragson.
Call the shot. I love it.
Yeah. Maybe I just want to see that. I think I'm just putting out what I want to see, not necessarily what will actually happen.
But if you're right, it will be amazing. Josh, what do you think?
Yes.
How many you make it on points?
I think 3 make it on points. We get 1 new winner, and that's it. And the next 4, and then 3 get in.
All right.